London, the city that has captivated Indian hearts for generations, a land of opportunity, dreams, and a better future, also it seems. But here is the irony. While Indians are rushing to the UK in search of their dreams, thousands of British citizens are living their own country. What's really happening here? And what lessons does this hold for us? Stick around because in this video we will uncover the story behind the British dreams, why it's fading and what it means for Indians. But before that, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please do so. Also like and share this video. Let's start the video. For many Indians, the UK has been the ultimate symbol of progress. Top-notch education, better healthcare, higher wages, and a chance to live in a structured society. It's a dream that's been marketed to us for decades through movies, stories, and even through the word of mouth. London, in particular, has been romanticized as a place where nothing goes wrong. From students aiming for the prestigious Oxford degrees to professionals chasing lucrative jobs, the appeal of the UK is undeniable. But what happens after the excitement fades? The reality of the daily life brings new challenges. Let's start with the weather. While we are used to India's scorching heat, the UK's winter are a different beast altogether. Imagine spending 7 months in the cold under a gloomy skies with barely any sunlight. Seasonal depression is real and it affects more people than we realize. Then there is a cost of living. A decent one-bedroom apartment in London can set you back over £1,500 a month. Add to that skyrocketing utility bills, transportation costs, and food expenses, and you are left wondering, is this the dream I signed up for? Now let's talk about numbers. In London, 1 in 50 people is homeless. That's one of the worst rates of homelessness in the developed world. Compare that to Delhi, where it's 1 in 110. And it's not just homelessness that's alarming. The UK's economy itself is struggling. Back in 2011, you could buy a house in London for £200,000. Today, the same house costs £500,000. But guess what? Wages haven't kept up. The average annual salary has barely increased in over a decade. In contrast, a junior professional in New York earns double what their London counterpart does, even though New York's cost of living is only 30% higher. In 2023, the UK was one of the only major economies to shrink. Inflation is biting hard, businesses are closing, and even basic necessities are becoming unaffordable for many. Now, here is the twist. While Indians are moving to the UK, British citizens themselves are leaving. Many are heading to countries like Australia, Canada, and even European nations. Why? Because these places offer better wages, lower living costs, and a higher quality of life. Now they say we can't afford to live in our own country anymore, and they are right. The UK's median income is half that of countries like the US, Norway, and Switzerland. The dream is fading for everyone. Now, to understand why this is happening, we need to look at the UK's economic policies from the 1990s. Back then, the government decided to focus heavily on service sector, particularly finance, and neglected manufacturing. Now, this was a costly mistake. Manufacturing jobs provided steady employment for a large part of the population. When these jobs disappeared, the ripple effects were devastating. Regions that depended on these industries were left behind and unemployment increased significantly. Meanwhile, manufacturing jobs moved to countries like China and India, boosting their economies but leaving the UK struggling. It's a classic example of short-sighted policy decisions. So, the question is, why do Indians still move to the UK despite these challenges? It's the promise of opportunity. For students, it's access to world-class education. For professionals, it's chance to work for global companies. And for families, it's the hope of a better, more structured life. But this comes at a cost, leaving family and friends behind, adapting to new culture, and dealing with the challenges of migration. It's not an easy road, and it's definitely not for everyone. Now, what can India learn from the UK story? The biggest lesson is the importance of balanced growth. We can't rely solely on the IT sector or a handful of industries to drive our economy. We need broad-based employment that includes manufacturing, agriculture, and services. India has the talent and resources to create jobs for everyone, from skilled IT professionals to factory workers and farmers. The goal should be to uplift every segment of society, not just a select few. Now, UK isn't all bad and India isn't perfect. Every country has its strengths and weaknesses. What's important is to weigh your options carefully and make informed decisions. Moving abroad can be life-changing, but it's not a magic solution to all your problems. At the end of the day, prosperity isn't just about where you live. It's about creating opportunities, building communities, and finding fulfillment wherever you are. So what do you think? Is the British dream worth chasing, or is it time to build our own dreams here at our home? Let's start a conversation. Share your thought in the comment below, and if you find this video insightful and helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such stories. See you in the next video.